Today we are analyzing Dreamflight by After Forever. This was one of the winners of our 2000 sub celebration poll, and I'm really excited to cover this song. If you don't know me, my name is Oha Cade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Valcata. You can check out our music in the description. There's also a link to my full reaction database if you're curious about what other songs and bands I've covered on the channel. And there's also a link to my Patreon if you fancy some exclusive content and benefits. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to stop it right there. We are covering the live version here. It's a shame that we don't really get to discuss the beautiful orchestral intro that is in the studio track, because I would have a lot to say about that. It's a beautiful orchestral piece to open the song in its truest form, but I can understand why they cut it from the live clip, as in this situation it really would be more of a backing track. So if you're only familiar with this live version, I do recommend checking out the studio version too to hear that beautiful orchestral arrangement.
Welcome. This is not a dream. It's something in between that and reality. Wake up if you before your eyes the world will change. Slowly takes you down to unknown places. Welcome to a world that's only yours. Wake up if you dare, and just follow me.
Okay, so what stands out to me about this softer intro is that in the live setting, that little guitar and piano riff is actually kind of groovy. As you can tell from how easily the audience can clap along to it, Floor's vocals obviously are pristine, sort of in a higher operatic register here, but still quite light, matching with the softness of the instrumental. And the chord progression is really peculiar. It's got a sort of a creepy vibe, very tense. You can tell we're really leading up to something. The male vocalist here is Bass Mass, an underrated singer in my opinion, and I think it's a really creative decision to only have this brief section of clean male vocals in this song. We don't get to hear him sing for the rest of the song, and it makes this intro feel really special just to have his moment there of clean male singing. And now we are rushing into the main verse, the faster part.
Follow me.
I'm actually not crazy about that particular synth voice, the synth sample. It's got a little bit of a cheesy feeling to it that I don't think fits with the tasteful arrangement of the rest of their music. But this sample could have been chosen to be easily heard in the live setting, as it is quite sharp, like it cuts through the air very easily. So there we just had our verse, which is really cool in that it's so intense and chaotic and chromatic, I would say, in its mode and in its tones. Lots of flats, lots of sharps, weird transitions. Very unsettling, but at the same time, the momentum is very forward moving and you can really bang your head to it. Super creative. And even though the vocal melodies here are, like I said, kind of chromatic, they're still catchy. It's testament to how Floor can write catchy vocal melodies in quite a dissonant mode. And the power and cleanliness and control of her performance here, it really goes without saying. And generally, I have to hand it to the rest of the band members too for keeping it so clean and tight. I'm a huge fan of how the drums are sounding in particular here. And we are transitioning into another unexpected section here, which is this softer, kind of groovy, almost a chill vibe. And normally I wouldn't be such a fan of switching things up constantly like this, but there is something about the smoothness of the transition into this section from the intensity that is very satisfying, so I'm completely down for it. And the contrast between the chill groove here and the unsettling atmosphere of the instrumental and the cello in the background is so cool to me. Really cool major chord there to end that riff on. So I would say that entire section that we just covered was a good representation of, I guess, more traditional symphonic metal, a combination of operatic vocals, catchiness, harsh vocals, melodic guitar lines, and heavy riffing. Pure joy, from my point of view, to listen to such well-composed music, such clean performances, but not lacking in emotion either. I really admire Sander for his guitar work and his compositional writing. His harsh vocal tone isn't my favorite. I love how he sounds in studio recordings, but sometimes in these live performances, maybe his growls sound a bit thin or something, maybe lacking some punch. Can't put my finger on it since I'm not a harsh vocalist. And I'm really in no place to judge. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts on it subjectively as a listener. But I love Flora's operatic line here. Da 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 da. It's so snappy, so catchy. It's an earworm. It gets stuck in your head. So even though we're in a sort of very profound symphonic metal, deep atmosphere, there is a poppy sensibility to that. You could almost put that melody and restructure it into a pop song, and It would do pretty well on the charts, in my opinion. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, before we jump right in, let's address that iconic section. What a creative idea to have this centerpiece of ethereal, atmospheric vibes paired with Floor's operatic, lyrical serenading. Very distinct sound. Who else is doing this? Like, I struggle to even think of another After Forever song with a section like this. So unique, so moving, so ingenious. To highlight her voice like that. And it works so well because it's a lovely break from the chaos of the rest of the track. Obviously, her high note at the end of the section is gorgeous, but what I really love too is the vocal line when she says music. Because a lot of the other words in this section are like one note, but this word, music, it has that melisma, several notes contained in it. Music. It's cool because it showcases their musicality. To make that particular word, music, so melodic compared to the other words in this section, it's playful, it's fun, it's gorgeous, it's so pretty. This one little idea here, it really encapsulates what I really miss about this group. Their songs are chock full of these gorgeous, ingenious little moments, which makes their songwriting so rich and captivating. And I love how the low, foreboding cello is foreseeing the heaviness come in here. Like, is anyone else getting that Christopher Nolan epic Batman vibe from this melody? Especially with the horns and the orchestration here, I'm really getting that inspiration. Ooh, a bit of feedback there on the mics. Too much metal for the sound system. Like, a lot of symphonic metal bands have that contrast between softer sections and heavy sections like this, but to go to the extreme that the song is doing, where we just were with that chill, spacey atmosphere, the intensity of this metal and growling is so well done in this particular song. And again, beautiful, tasty melodic guitar parts. And I love the texture that the keyboard is offering this part as well. You can sort of hear it above the guitars. Really evoking that dreamlike, nightmarish quality. Wow, so epic, intense. I just have no words for that whole little awesome proggy section just there. Obviously, the star of the show really during that whole part was the keyboards performed by Joost Vandenbroek. I have to give a shout out to Joost here. He does a lot of production work nowadays, famously for projects like Epica and Aerion, and he also produced one of our songs, Archangel, the song that's in the description. Check it out. He did an amazing job on the mix. He's super talented, but in this clip, his keyboard solo is just so sick. Yet another unexpected detour in the song, but it's a very welcome detour. And it introduces that really progressive, complex section so well when the guitars join in and the groove settles in. Like, it's complex, but it's still very groovy. And I love the heavier breakdown combined with the keyboard solo. This drop here is so good. And then after this drop, we have a really great rhythmic switch up with the choir and Flora's voice. You'll see what I mean. Like, that again is so fun. Like, that rhythm comes out of nowhere, but the transition into it is so euphoric and it fits really well. Like, what a journey this song takes us on. Similar to a dream, you know, our dreams can appear quite random, but the way the visions flow into each other is represented so well in this performance in this song. We're just building and building and building. Gorgeous. Yeah, just a phenomenal, tight performance from insanely talented musicians. I love how we had a reprise of the verse to sort of tie the song together, and then we ended with a really cool, tense crescendo, which was emphasized by Flora's voice and the orchestra. And considering how demanding this song is, the fullness of her voice at the very end here is really astonishing. It just goes to show her level of stamina. There is no fatigue showing in her voice at all. It's so full, so strong. Just fantastic stuff, really. Yes, we miss this band a lot. They were huge innovators in symphonic metal. Thankfully, a lot of the members are still doing really cool creative stuff. Obviously, Floor is the lead vocalist of Nightwish. Be sure to check out all my Nightwish content too, by the way. Sander has HDK. And of course, can't believe I forgot to mention that After Forever are having a reunion, a few reunion shows, and I think they might be sold out at this point. Unfortunately, Floor isn't returning, but Mark Jansen from Epica is returning, and the shows are going to be a celebration of the Prison of Desire and Decipher albums. And Angel Wolf Black will be taking the vocal helm for these shows. She is an incredible vocalist, very much worthy of doing these songs justice live. Angel has also performed on Balcata Songs, my own band. She performed on our single Tower, and she also performed on our full-length self-titled album in 2019. So as you can tell, I'm a massive fan of this band as a symphonic metal musician, and I've done my best to work with all the talent possible associated with this group. So that about concludes my analysis of Dreamflight by After Forever. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this song and any other After Forever songs you'd like me to cover. As I said, be sure to check out my reaction database in the description, where you can find content that I've done on bands like Nightwish, Epica, Arion, and Dream Theater. I also have a Nightwish playlist if you'd like to jump straight to the Floor content. And please become a patron if you fancy some exclusive content and benefits. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.